What you're about to hear isn't a story. It's evidence. Proof that the silence around you listens back. I found the file 3 months ago. It wasn't sent to me. It wasn't uploaded anywhere public. It appeared. One night, while I was working on a late sound design project, I noticed a strange folder appear on my desktop. It was named The Silence Study Internal. Inside it, one single file, an audio clip about 7 minutes long. No metadata, no creator, no trace. And yet it had a description embedded inside the file's properties. Captured from Room 7, The Silence Project. Do not amplify frequencies below 40 Hertz. I should have deleted it right there, but curiosity is a disease I've never been able to cure. I opened the file. At first, nothing. Just the faint hum of a room tone. If you've ever been in a perfectly quiet room, you know the sound. Not silence, but the soft, humming pressure that fills your ears. That's what I heard. A constant, deep whisper of air. But after 20 seconds, there was something else. Something underneath. A pattern. Tiny pulses of sound, like breathing maybe, or words trapped under the noise. I replayed it again and again. It wasn't random. So I did what any sound designer would do. I loaded the file into my editor and boosted the lower frequencies. Just a little. That's when I heard it. A voice. Faint, but there. Hidden in the static, a man whispering. The words were impossible to make out, but the tone was unmistakable. He was whispering to someone, and somehow I knew it wasn't me. The deeper I went, the more the sound changed. It was like peeling layers off a corpse. Every filter I removed revealed something worse beneath. After an hour of decoding, the hum had turned into a pattern of faint human breathing. After 2 hours, whispers overlapping, dozens of them. Men, women, children, some crying, some laughing, all whispering. Their voices blended into one horrifying rhythmic breath, like the sound of a room breathing. At one point, I realized something else. The voices weren't random. They were reacting. When I clicked pause, everything stopped. But when I pressed play again, the whispers changed tone, as if they were aware of me. Each time I replayed it, the timing of the breath adjusted, like they were waiting for me. I turned off the lights, I turned off the speakers, and yet I could still hear it. That was when I made my first mistake. I spoke. I said quietly to no one, "Hello?" And the file answered. At first, just a soft hiss. Then a voice right through my headphones, a whisper, deep, wet, close to my ear. "Don't move." The whisper came from inside the headphones, but the signal meter didn't move. No waveform, no sound reading,
Yet I could hear it. And that voice, it wasn't just in my ears, it was behind me. "Don't move." I froze, not because I wanted to obey, but because my body simply stopped listening to me. For the first time in my life, silence wasn't empty. It was alive. The hum got louder, a deep, vibrating pressure that made the glass of my window shake. It was as if something enormous was breathing through the walls. The cursor on the screen moved by itself. It dragged the file back to the start. Then it pressed play. The voice returned, but this time it said my name. Ethan. I never saved my name in that computer. No mic, no login, nothing that could have told it who I was, and yet it knew.
I tore the headphones off and threw them. The sound didn't stop. It kept playing from the walls, from the air. The same whisper, now in every direction. Ethan, Ethan, Ethan. And mixed in with it, the faint sound of footsteps. I looked at the waveform again. There were new spikes, sharp, rhythmic, like something walking closer to the mic. But the original recording was from an empty room. No one was there. No one should have been there.
I tried to close the file. The system froze. The mouse didn't move. Then, my camera turned on. I watched the tiny green light flicker, and on the screen, a second window popped up. Room 7, live feed. There was no feed before. There was no camera source connected. Inside the window, a room. Empty at first. Then, movement. Something dark stepped into view. A figure standing in the middle of a room that looked exactly like mine. The figure didn't move for almost a minute. Then it turned its head slowly toward the camera. And when it did, my webcam light blinked twice, as if it could see me. I felt the air shift, cold, thick, like the atmosphere itself was watching. The voice returned, louder than before. "You listened too long." The monitor flickered. The waveform pulsed like a heartbeat. Every light in my house died, except for the glow of that file. Then silence. Not the normal kind, not peaceful, not quiet. The kind that presses against your eardrums like a scream that hasn't been let out. I shut down the computer, unplugged it, left the house. For a while I thought it was over, but a week later when I checked my new laptop, there it was. Same folder, same file, different name this time. Room 8. And under it, a note. "Thank you for listening." If you ever find a file that hums when the world is silent, don't play it. Because once it hears you, it never forgets your voice. For days, the file kept coming back. Every time I deleted it, it reappeared. Sometimes with a new name. Room 9, Room 10. Then one night, it was called My Room. When I opened it, there was no waveform, just one flat line, dead silence. But the timer was running.
00 to 001 to 002. And at 007, the line twitched, just a tiny blip, then a whisper, "Are you alone right now?"
I froze again. The voice wasn't in the headphones this time. It came from behind me. But when I turned, no one was there. Just my chair, empty. The recording continued. "It's okay. I'm not in your room." Then, a creak from my floor, exactly where that voice said it wasn't. The screen flickered again. The file changed by itself. Now it showed two waveforms, one normal, one faintly delayed, like an echo. But the second waveform wasn't repeating my voice. It was repeating my breathing. I covered my mouth. The second waveform still breathed. The whisper grew closer, no longer distant, no longer filtered. It was inside my head. Every listener becomes a room. Every room makes another recording. That's when I realized the file was copying itself through sound. Every person who listens becomes the next room. And if you can hear this now, it's already started for you. The voice laughed softly, distorted and layered, like hundreds of people whispering at once. Each whisper slightly different, each one saying a different name. Mine, yours, yours again. Then silence, pure suffocating silence. Suddenly, a knock, just once, from behind the camera. I didn't move, neither should you. Then, a faint voice, almost gentle. "Now it's your turn to listen."
If you play this video again, the file will rename itself with your room number. And if you ever hear breathing in the silence tonight, don't check where it's coming from. Scream fades to black. Sound of faint static. Then one last whisper, barely audible. Room 11. Connected.